in 2 minutes. I'm going to take advantage of backtracking just really quickly on this drug issue, and that is because when I came into office in 1999, we didn't have addiction services at the detention center. Okay? They didn't exist. So I got together with staff at the health department and their addictions program. We put our heads together and came up with grant funding, small amount of local government funding, to put the first addictions counselors ever in the Talbot Detention Center. This issue for me goes way, way back. As Corey mentioned, I'm a member, now chair, of the Blue Ribbon Oversight Committee, which basically took the strategies the Blue Ribbon Commission developed to fight alcohol and drug abuse in the county. And our committee now has been in place for the last several years, monitoring those strategies, have they been in place, and we visit with the council annually, if not more, with recommendations. And they have taken action. I would hope they take a little more action, and we've talked about that. So again, this issue on drug and alcohol abuse really goes way, way back for me. What are my 3 issues? Number 1, and I spoke to it earlier, is the economy. Talbot County's the health of the Talbot County economy is not good. And I think the council has a role to play in that. And that is using its economic development resources to help small businesses grow, to help attract new small businesses. 43% of the businesses in Talbot County are small businesses or micro businesses. They got 15 or 20 people. I spoke with a young man who's trying to expand his, and here at Easton, granted it's within the town, but he could use some help from our economic development coordinator in navigating the whole system of how you expand, how you find resources to do that. So the economy, the environment, I think we've talked about that, and my other passion is public schools. And I'm hoping there's going to be a question regarding public schools later on, so I can get into more detail. Time's up.
The top 3 priorities I see, the first one is to create, maintain, and really improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of our county government. The Permitting and Inspections Department has been a thorn in the side for a lot of people for a long time. I don't think it costs any money to expect people to do their jobs. It just takes leadership that basically explains to the people working there that this is your job and you're expected to do it. So if we can do that, we can become efficient and we can become effective, we're going to be able to maintain the low taxes that we enjoy. If we can do both of those, we're going to be able to recruit and also retain small businesses. Our county has a terrible reputation as being business unfriendly. The Sage Policy Group did a great study, and one of the things they came back, they said that your number 1 issue facing you in your economy is that you're considered a very unfriendly county to businesses. People don't want to relocate there. People don't want to bring their businesses. Changing that perception shouldn't cost money. It should just as a matter of changing attitudes. So again, it's something we can do. If we can do that, we will bring more business to the county. If we bring more business to the county, we'll bring more taxes to the county. We'll have more money we can do other things with. Once we get there, we'll have money we can actually put towards education that needs it in many ways. I think our educational system is doing a great job, but I'd like to see them increase what they do for students. I'd like, particularly in the high schools, to see more classes that prepare people for jobs and careers. Something they can literally walk out the door after 12th grade and start a career and a good learning. Not everybody should be going to college. Too many people are graduating from college today with huge college bills and no jobs. So I'd really like to see our high school focus not just on the college preparatory aspect, but also on the career aspect for other types of students who really need to be there.
I find education very important. I work at Chesapeake College, I told you before, so that's one of my pet peeves. I also help with the Frederick Douglass Honor Society to provide scholarships for students that want to go to college. We raise money every year for that. And so education is a real priority in my life, actually. I think that it's important also to maintain the maintenance of effort that the state has mandated for the school system. In other words, if we can't raise the budget, that the budget wouldn't go any lower than it was the previous year. And I think that's very important so that schools can stay on par with what they were doing previously. It's also important educate our youth, because that is part of our workforce. And that gets me into economic development. Business can't come here and want to open up if there isn't a workforce that's educated and trained well enough to work at their business. So I think that's very important. I see a lot of that at Chesapeake College, where students are not ready for the workforce. It's not because they're not trained, but because they don't have that mental attitude to go out there and put out a resume, go through an interview, that sort of thing. So, those are the kind of things that we need to provide for students. Also, the environment is very important. I spoke earlier about partnerships that we should form with watermen, farmers, and the state to improve our environment and to maintain the quality of life that we have here in Talbot County. Thank you.
It'll be no surprise that my number one priority is to keep our tax rates the lowest in the state. And how do you pay for that? And that, of course, is to continue to keep the government lean and efficient. Because as long as it's efficient, there's no reason for the budget just to keep going up. And as we see revenues come back, that's good. That means the economy is getting better. But we need to make sure, like I said in the opening statement, that we don't spend all of the increase on day-to-day operating expenses, that we continue to put money away in the reserve account to pay for future capital needs that are definitely coming up. Streamlining, definitely the permits process. It's been a hot topic this election cycle. We've put a couple of things in place for that already, which is digitizing all of the permits and hiring one heck of a supervisor who is very, very militant. I think she's been a great customer service, but she's that's about all I can say on that one. But she will definitely make sure that the customer service in that department is top-notch and that the employees will be doing their jobs, and that is very, very important because we need for businesses to be able to grow and for houses to be able to expand so that we can improve that, and that will help our economy. The third thing is not a specific issue, but it's just about bringing groups together. Whether that, and I want to help facilitate that, whether that's the agriculture, the watermen, and the environmentalists, because I don't think their goals are really all that different. I think they're more the same than they are different. So that's really important. And then when it comes to the schools, homogenous is not a word that I like, and I see that that's the way that the school system is going. They're starting to put all the kids in the same classes together. And while, I agree, there are certain kids who need to graduate from high school and be able to get a career. But I also, as two kids, one is in college and one who's applying for college right now, we don't have everything that we need to make these kids competitive in our colleges. So we need to keep it separate for each type of child.
A few things that are concerning me is one is planning and zoning and the permit process. We're roughly about 110 permits down last year. And that equates to roughly $11 to $12 million. Okay, that's a concern to me. That's a concern of revenue coming to Talbot County. Okay, yes, I'm a custom builder. Yes, I love to meet new people, come here and enjoy the quality of life. But that seems to be a problem. And what that does, that you need to find the people, you need to find ways with inspections in the county and planning and zoning to work together to find some solutions on what's going to help. If it's not more of easing up on impact fees or something, so throw some people a bone here to get them here and get them to build here. That's what we really need to do. The other big thing is, half our budget is education, 38 to 40 million. So we have to be able to find a way and some solutions to pay for that. And the only way we're going to pay for this education is get some people here to spend some money, because what it allows us to do is pay for certain things, education. I'm a big advocate on vocational training. I'm a prime example of, I went to vocational school here, for 3 years, and then I end up doing a career. I think that old school stuff needs to be come back, and we need to keep our kids here. With $40 million worth of education, we need to keep our kids in a career here. Thank you.
The three issues, I guess, would be the economy, public safety, and affordable housing. I'll just start on there. The hospital is our main driver here. We all know that's our largest employer. We are working with the hospital, Ken Fazell, and the other members of Shore Health Systems to get that hospital built. As I mentioned earlier, we're about to release some very encouraging news to you in the next couple of days that I think will make everybody's day a bit brighter. I also want to continue working with our watermen. They have to continue feeding their families. They have to continue working in their crafts. As Ms. Price said, we heard from them last month with the situation with the fossilized shale. And so we have to continue working with our watermen, with our agricultural community to make sure that business stays vibrant and productive for years to come. And also continue working with our small business operators in the county. Again, listening to them, trying to find ways that we can work with them. We passed Resolution 1278, I believe the number is added correctly, with the threshold down from $2 million of investment down to $1 million of investment, and from 50 new hires down to 15 new hires. So hopefully with the passing of that resolution, this will attract new businesses to come to Talbot County and create new jobs here. On the public safety side of it, we brought in 10 new employees in our last budget. I believe 7 of those were in the public safety realm. So it shows that this council has a keen eye when it comes to public safety. We're going to expand our 911 center. We're looking at some design. I believe I have a meeting next week with Mr. Stamp and two prospects on taking on that project to expand the 911 center. It's becoming a bit cramped over there, so we have to give them a little bit more elbow room to work. Work very closely with Chief Spence down in Easton, Chief Ball down in Trout, Chief Maxwell down in Oxford, and also Chief Smith down in the town of St. Michael's. I know these gentlemen, work with these gentlemen. As I said before, I have 20 years of public safety, and I work very closely with our partner agencies around the state and also here in Talbot County. Affordable housing, our comprehensive plan is going to be our biggest tool over the next couple of months for this county, for this council, and the council.
I think we've all discussed public safety, which is always a primary concern of all of us here. I want to talk about some other issues as well. The main thing, and I think everything flows from these concerns that I have. One is protection of the quality of life here in Talbot County. The reason why people want to come here. If we can protect that as an overriding goal, a lot of other things will follow. It costs nothing to make wise decisions regarding growth and development and attracting jobs here. Nothing. You need people who sit in these chairs, who look at the big picture, which is the quality of life we have here, and making sure we do things right. For example, the roads, when they wanted to go out by the airport, so that as you're driving into Easton, the first thing you would have seen is a big box store. Wrong place. Bad idea. 5 years of litigation put it in the town of Easton where it belonged, on sewer and water, not out in a cornfield on a septic system. Things like that cost nothing, but you have to have people who sit in these chairs who see the big picture, which is the protection of the quality of life in Talbot County, the health of the bay. We can utilize state and federal monies for doing what we have to do to get the nitrogen out of the bay. Doing things here, things that we can do, not pointing up to the Callahan Dam and saying, there's the problem up there, there's bad people from Pennsylvania. Doing what we have to do right here, and doing what we can do as citizens in our own backyard to protect the bay. And finally, attracting high-wage jobs. If we have a place that people want to come to, they will bring their jobs here. And it's up to us and the people who sit in these chairs to make it an environment that is efficient for them to come start their businesses and to talk to them and tell them why they should come here. That's all.